Hey everyone, it's Nikki. Welcome or welcome back. Today I'm part of the Just Our Imagination challenge that we do every month. And my first challenge item is this napkin holder. My second challenge item is this poster board. So I'm going to begin by tracing out my napkin holder. I grabbed two, which was a good idea because I really needed the second one as a template. So you're going to see that in just a moment. Out of the 5 challenges that I do every month, this one is my absolute favorite. I love using things that I wouldn't think to even use in crafting, especially with this napkin holder. I would not even consider buying this and thinking, "Oh, I'm going to make something out of this." So this one's a lot of fun, and I hope that you'll take the time to explore the playlist because there's so many really talented creators that join us every month, and it's just so much fun. I'm just centering it the best I can so I can make a pleat on each side. And then once I have my pleats made, I'm going to start gluing. So I'm going to start with the bottom and then do the outside of the small arches and then the large. I'm just going to go fast on this so you're not just sitting there watching me glue. Next, I grab this pretty cardstock, and once again, I'm going to use the napkin holder as a template and then cut that out. I'm going to set this on the inside and then glue it along both arches. I don't think it was necessary to fold the cardstock in half. I'm not entirely sure what my thought process was at the time, but you could totally skip that step if you wanted to recreate this. All right, I'm using the second napkin holder on the top as a template. Once again, I'm making a door and a little window, and I'm pretty sure by now you know we're making a little house. It's actually kind of like a hobbit house or a fairy house, whatever you'd want to call it. And here I'm just taking my scalpel to cut them out. This was such a fun break from fall DIYing. I needed a little switch up. While I'm cutting these out, I just wanted to say I hope that you're enjoying this project so far. And I'd love it if you stayed until the end because I have such a sweet little surprise in the end I think that you'll enjoy. I grabbed that poster board and cut all along the long side. This is going to be our roof. I was happy with how that fit. I did need a little bit of an overhang. The back wall was a little bit too high, so I trimmed that down. And then I just rolled my poster board. That way it will curve around the house perfectly. There was a little gap in the front, but those things don't matter once it all comes together. I folded the first side down, glued it underneath, and then I did the same with the opposite side. I cut a piece of this really soft fabric. It wasn't felt. Felt is actually my third challenge item. I just set this fabric aside and pulled out some of these really small popsicle sticks. I'm not even sure these are popsicle sticks, and I don't even remember where I got them. But I had already traced out the shape of my door, which was rounded at the top. So I lined up my popsicle sticks all along that outline. And then I used some masking tape to hold them in place so they wouldn't shift while I worked. And then once I had all my pieces in place, I just cut off the remainder with a pair of scissors. These cut so easy. And then the pieces that I cut, I used as supports for the back of my door. I took my awl tool, poked a hole in the back, and then ran these fairy lights through. That way my house will be able to light up. I took another one of those sticks, sliced it right down the center, and this is what I'm going to use to make a window pane for my window. I'm painting both my door and the window pane the color Ballet Slipper by Waverly. It's such a pretty soft pink. As I said earlier, this is our Just Our Imagination Challenge. Every time I say that, I sound just like Brenda. It's hosted every month by Kathy Jo DIYs and Brenda from Rustic and Lace. This month, I was honored to be the guest host, and I can't even tell you how much that means to me. Being recognized by your fellow creators is just such a special feeling, and I can't wait for the next person who wins if they've never won before, just to know how special that feels. All right, guys, back to the video. I grabbed that piece of fabric that I cut earlier, put hot glue all over the back, and then set it down onto my fabric. This is one of those things that it's probably easier for you to just watch than for me to explain. I will say that I made some unnecessary steps. This is just where my mind was going in the moment. I'm going to leave this in here just so you can see the process. I carefully cut my window out, and then I glue my door down using some hot glue. Hobby Lobby sells these ribbon bundles. They come color coordinated. I'm cutting a piece to go around my window and my door. I'm using fabric tack for this, but you can go ahead and use hot glue. That'd be fine too. I wanted to add a little extra detail, so I pulled out a stencil in Paint Couture's embossing medium, and even though my fabric was fluffy, I just went right over it. I wasn't trying to make perfect bricks. I wanted them scattered and imperfect, just I guess for some variation. But after I pulled the stencil away, I just touched it up a little bit so I could keep working. I took my embossing gun, and surprisingly, it dried like super quick. I was going through my stash, and oh my goodness, I found this cutest little broom. So I took more of the ballet slipper and covered up the red threads. It's just the most cutest little thing. I love little things. I don't I'll even like watch those videos where people are making like miniature foods and houses and stuff like that. I just love stuff like that. And I made sure to paint the handle to match. My last challenge item is felt. So I folded it over in half and glued it using some fabric tack. And then I just kind of rounded off the corners just on one side. I placed it over my house so I'd know exactly where to cut, and then cut that strip off and glued it down to my house, starting from the back, working my way around the sides to the front. To finish off my roof line, I grabbed this gorgeous ribbon from Temu. I have it in several colors and I use it every chance I get. I even used it in the very first Just Our Imagination challenge that I participated in when I made a lamp. I'll try to remember to link that video down in the description box, and the link to this ribbon if it's still available. I think it is, and they even have it in like black and purple. It's just so pretty, especially if you like girly things. I like a lot of things, but I do enjoy girly things as well. And this also has like a nice vintage vibe to it, which I love. I got a huge box of these adhesive pearls from Michael's for like $4. Such a steal. I'll probably have them till the day I die. And for the base, I wanted my little house to have a base. So I took this wooden circle that I found in my stash and some batting for like quilting and stuff. And I stretched another piece of that felt. I stretched it real good, did a little bit of trimming, and glued it down with some hot glue, but I pulled it nice and tight because I didn't want any wrinkles. I had a couple pieces of leftover felt, and the longer piece, I pulled it and like twisted and folded to make it a little tiny rose. I made a ton of these back like 15 years ago when I got married, and they're just so fun to make and they come out so pretty. And to finish it off, I just add a little bit of hot glue. Next, I grabbed this green ribbon and I trimmed the wire off the side of the ribbon, and the ribbon itself is going to be dainty leaves and the wire pieces are going to become the stems. First, I glued my house down to my base using some fabric tack all along the sides, and then I added hot glue in the center. I started assembling my flowers. This glue gun is perfect for fine details like this. It's honestly the best that I've had, and I'd buy it 100 times over. I'm going to let you watch while I assemble my flowers. Most of these flowers came from a card my daughter gave me. I think they're supposed to be succulents, and I thought those would look kind of like shrubs outside the house. So I glued those down and a few others that I got from Hobby Lobby. Then I wanted to make a walkway, so I took that same batting and cut out 3 stones, all different sizes, and then glued those down using some hot glue. Around the flowers, I added some pearls, all different sizes. And I thought that was just such a delicate touch to this little house. I was going to add this wreath made of resin, but the scale was off and it just didn't pair well with this house. As I was adding these details, I imagined the story this little house might hold. I pictured 2 sisters living here, tucked away in the woods with only each other. The window lets in some light, the flowers and shrubs make it feel safe, and inside they share their laughter, their secrets, and their strength. It's cozy, it's simple, but it's theirs, and together they make it home. In a way, it kind of reminds me of my sister and I after we lost our mom. During that time, all we really had was each other. And even though life felt uncertain at the time, we created a sense of home through the bond that we shared. And I think that's why this little house means so much to me. You can find this little fencing at Hobby Lobby. I trimmed this down because the scale was off a little bit. It was rising above the roof line, and then I just glued it down. And here's the finished project. You can see the 2 sisters sitting here resting together after a long ride. Off to the side are a pair of dragonflies. That's how they travel through their little world. And for this moment, though, the sisters are simply sitting together, enjoying each other's company. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. I always love hearing from you. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to stick around. I'm trying so hard to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by September 23rd. All right, here comes the best part of the whole video. My daughter gifting this to her best friend's little girl, Delaney.
Mom, look!
Oh, be careful. Be very careful.
What is that? Got it!
There you
Look,
go.
I got a house!
Is that a fairy house?
No, it's just this.
Look, it lights up, Delaney. You hit that button and it lights right up.
Whoa! Big!
Oh my.
Look,
Okay. Don't rip it though.
Love it!
Do you love it?
Look, I got sweet.
A sweet?
I don't know who loves this little house more, Delaney or her mom. All right, guys, until the next one, bye.